Hi, this is Jeannie from A Jeannie in the Kitchen. We are in Priscilla's kitchen today, and we have our annual tradition of making caramels, and our caramels are to die for. They're really, really good. And I'm making a double batch, and Priscilla's going to make a single batch. We're actually making two double batches. I'm making one batch that's plain caramel and one batch that's chocolate and pecan. So it's really easy for the double batch. 4 cups of sugar, 4 sticks of butter, 4 cups of cream separated, and 4 cups of Karo syrup, the dark Karo syrup. So what I'm going to start off with is I'm just going to grease my pan. You want it nice and slippery because if you don't, the caramel sticks and it makes it really hard. I've been there, done that, and it makes it almost impossible to get out. So this is super, super easy. We just put everything in together and melt it, and we want to get it to 230 degrees first, and then we'll put in our second batch of cream and get it to another 230 degrees. I have my candy thermometer here. And then we just pour it into our dish that I just buttered down and got all greased up, and let it sit until it hardens enough to cut, which is usually about a day.
And this is a must, right? Would you say, Jeannie?
Absolutely.
Like
you need your candy thermometer.
Yeah.
So I've got 4 cups of sugar. We're just going to put it in, and 4 sticks of butter. This is super easy. 4, 4, 4, and 4. And Priscilla's doing the exact same thing. She's just doing it in half.
Which is 2, 2, and 2 for those of you.
Yes.
We're good at math.
We're good at math.
It's a good math day.
We are good at math. Yes, it is good. We can teach our kids math.
Yes.
So most of you know my friend Priscilla is familia. We've known each other literally our whole entire lives. We are 2 Southern California girls from Pasadena that ended up here in Broomfield, Colorado. Imagine that.
Crazy.
Crazy. So, but that's what we did. So we're gonna do 4 cups of cream, but we're gonna split it. We're gonna divide it. So I'm gonna do 2 cups at first.
And I'm doing 1.
And then we've already measured these before, so we know how easy it is. We're just gonna put in our Karo syrup.
We're gonna add this later.
Yeah. And then we're just going to start bringing this to a boil. We have all of our ingredients in, our sugar, our cream, our dark Karo syrup, and our butter. At this point, there's not much we're going to do with it right now, but we are just going to stir it constantly in kind of a figure 8 like Priscilla's doing until everything melts, and then we're going to get it to a boil. Our
Jeannie,
first boil.
what should the flame be at?
I have mine at kind
Like
of
a
medium-high flame.
Okay,
Mhm.
so do I.
You don't want it too high because you don't want to burn it, and that's another reason why you're stirring it constantly, is you don't want to burn it. So this is going to be a while. This is a process, but that's okay. We just sit here and visit.
Part of the fun.
That's part of the fun. That's right. Priscilla's caramel is starting to bubble up a little bit, so she just put her candy thermometer in. This is coming to her first boil. Again, she wants it at 230. You wanted a nice caramel color. You want big bubbles. Mine's not there yet. Mine's going to take a little bit longer because mine has twice as much ingredients in there. So, but we're looking for that, and then when we get to the 230, we're going to put in the second batch of cream and get it to 230 again.
And would you say the 230 degrees is that softball stage
Mm-hmm.
that they
So Priscilla
say
brings up a
with
good
candy?
point. It's called a softball, and what you can do is you can get some water and put it in, and it gets the name softball because it actually forms a little ball, a little bubble, and that will tell you that it's good. Hers is bubbling up really nicely. She's nowhere near it though.
Because it's going to take some time to actually get to the to that softball stage, and then when it gets there, we're going to add the other half of our cream and continue cooking it up.
And then we're gonna once we get it to 230 again, then we're gonna put it in our pan.
Good, Jeannie.
Half of the cream, and I will say you have to be really careful because you don't want it to splatter on you.
Yes,
So
because this is very, very hot.
it is lava.
And you do not want this on your skin at all because it will blister, it will burn. So this is something you have to be very, very, very careful with.
So yeah, this is going to cool the mixture way down. You're going to see your thermometer go down and your bubbles are going to go down. But that's okay because it'll go back up So again, it looks kind of like where we started. But you just stay with it and it'll start bubbling up again quite soon.
And we've played with this recipe many times. We've actually perfected it. But if it doesn't get to the right temperature, and if you pour it in your pan and it doesn't set, that's okay. Just remelt it and bring it back up again.
Isn't that amazing?
You just bring it back up.
It's not all is lost.
It's not lost. You can use it for a sauce. Priscilla just made a wonderful cake. If she wanted to, at this stage, she could pour it over the cake for a caramel sauce.
Totally.
So it's not lost.
It is National Bundt Day, after all.
It is National Bundt Cake Day, and Priscilla made a bundt cake that I've already figured out all the ingredients to, and I haven't even tried it yet.
Yes, true.
My caramel is now at 230 degrees. You can see how bubbly it is. Now it is super, super, super hot. So I'm going to pour it into my greased pan. And once we get it in here, all we do is just let it sit. It's got to sit for a minimum of about 24 hours to set. And then we'll cut it. We'll cut it in the little squares. And then it'll be done. Now, Priscilla brought up a good point. Like I said, we have played with this many times. We've
made all the mistakes.
We've made all the mistakes. We've had it too soft. We've had it too hard. No problem. If it's too soft, just continue to boil it for a little bit. If it's too hard, add a little bit more cream to it and boil it back down, and you'll be fine. So you really cannot go wrong with this recipe at all.
So this is what it'll look like after it starts to settle down, but it's going to take a while.
It's going to take a while. And we're still munching on it in the meantime. Mine just got to that point, and there you go. So at this point, we're just sit and wait. We have our caramels all set. These are my regular caramels, my plain caramels, and these are my chocolate pecan caramels. Priscilla and I made these on Sunday, and today is Tuesday, and I'm just now starting to cut them up. So you want to make sure that they're good and set, but you also want to make sure that they're nice and soft. So you can do this any way you want. I usually cut them in strips and then take them out so it looks like this. And then I just cut them from here. You can make them any size you want, but ideally you want to make them bite-sized. So you can do it that way, but these are very, very rich and you don't really want it. That's a lot. So I usually cut them in half. You try to make them as equal as possible, but doesn't always work out that way. They are handmade, and by a few little irregularities, it proves that they are handmade. So that's how you do those. And then this is the part that's the tedious part. I love making them. I love doing these. We do these every year. But I have to cut up and individualize these parchment paper squares. And then I have to wrap them individually. So I just put it on. You want them about 2 inches by 2 inches. And then you just put them on and twist the corners, and there you go. And this is the part that takes forever. So I usually do these in stages. And you just keep going until you have all these done. So as you can see, I've only cut slightly under a half of this one double batch. And my bag is almost 3/4 full. So this makes a lot. It's a perfect gift for the holidays. The holidays are coming. Great for Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, or just whatever. These are delicious, and they're nice and soft, and you might just have to try one. It just melts in your mouth. Anyway, this is Jeannie from A Jeannie in the Kitchen. This is episode number 18, video number 18. If you like what you see, please click that button. Please subscribe, and I will see you next time.